messing around. Loft meeting. Hey, folks. We got a very, very, very special loft meeting today. You know him from Dance Flick. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Damon Wayans Jr. is here.
It's Coach O'Clock.
That's right. Coach is with us today.
Coach.
For a very special loft meeting. So how we like to do this, Damon, is we just answer some fan questions. We talk about some things. We just go through it, share your, real quick. These are like, whatever's coming to your heart and whatever's coming to your mind. You just spill it. If you get emotional, if you cry.
I think what we realized when we started this podcast is that 90% of our DMs is filled with people sending us very specific questions about New Girl that they want answered. And so we're like, we're going to recap the episodes and share the behind the scenes and really get into it. But there's some specific things that people really want addressed. Yeah. And so we have this whole episode called Loft Meeting where we kind of address those questions with people that know the answers, like us and you. All right, should we dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in. So I'll take this first one. Hi. I'm not sure if you'll ever have Damon on the show, but I wanted to know what brought him back to New Girl first and second time. Did they entice you with anything cool for Coach? I think bringing him back as a teacher at just his school was a stroke of genius. It really allowed him to move beyond being one of the guys' friends to being his own person. And I like the dynamic between Coach and Jess. It reminds me of me and my brother. The seasons with Coach are the best. Becca from Casper, Wyoming.
So I was shooting Let's Be Cops with Jake, and during the shoot, I found out that Happy Endings was canceled. So I was like, oh, I just found out Happy Endings. I had got the call. I was like with Jake at a bar, and I was like, Happy Endings got canceled. He was like, come do New Girl. I was like, are you sure? I don't know. Would Liz want me back? He's like, let me find out. He calls her. She's like, yeah, I'd love to have him. He's like, yeah, come do it. That's how it happened. Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was pretty seamless. So I'm thankful for that.
It doesn't work like that for everybody else. And so cool for Liz to do that if you think about it, because you're like, it's in the pilot. It got people got a lot of different, confused interpretations of what that was. Yeah. Right? The Coach to Winnie situation.
When I explain it, they don't understand it because it's like so,
it's a lot of inside baseball. Yeah. There we go. That's exactly what it is. You try to, I wanted to write something one day just explaining the process and just have it out there because, there are different stories that are always being told from people who don't actually understand how contracts work. You know what I mean?
Especially like acting contracts. They really
exactly. Yeah, I've heard all kinds of stories. I heard Damon quit Happy Endings to come back to the show, and they would kick off Lamorne, and then I was heard the most wild.
I've heard the weirdest things, and it's just people who obviously don't know how our industry works. But But I am thankful that Liz always kind of left that door open for me to come back and hang, and I have so much fun. So much fun goofing off with you guys. Like my favorite stuff was when, is in between the takes. Is when we're just, there and they're too long and just being tired and just like goofing. Like that's my jam.
I will say, I think I've talked to Lamorne about this before. The greatest thing about when you came and rejoined the cast for me, because that was the first show I ever did, biggest opportunity of my life. And of course, everybody whispers in your ears like all sorts of weird industry stuff all the time. And there was like this real feeling like you could get fired for any reason at any time. Everybody's disposable, this whole thing. And I felt pretty good on the show, but it was like this weird thing. And I think we all kind of carried a kind of nervous energy about different things, but there was a nervous energy. But then when you rejoined the cast, you carried this air of confidence where you would just truly be having fun and do things that were crazy, like drop your pants to make everybody laugh. And it was like, for me, genuinely, I was like, I didn't know it was possible just to be like, I'm here. I'm very secure in this job. I just want to have the best time possible. And it shifted my whole experience of like what I was allowed to be. and to not live in fear of the whole thing and really enjoy it, because you just naturally came on and we're just like, yeah, okay, I'll say those words. And then I'm also going to do all these things and we're going to have the best time. And it was true. It really changed like the whole energy for me of the set. I loved when you
Yeah,
came
it
back.
did. People ask me all the time about it. And I go, what you coming back on the show did for me was it gave me freedom and like license to, I was looking at how much fun you were having doing the dumbest shit, like doing a cartwheel in the middle of a scene. You're like, what the fuck is that? It's just like, he was like, you got to own this, you got to own the space. And he was doing whatever he felt like doing. That definitely helped me form my character, because I started to play more and have a bit more confidence and fun going, maybe Damon walking away with his ass out is not going to work. Maybe that won't work for network TV, but it made me laugh. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on.
Okay. I need to know, was the scene with the guys in the car on the way to Prince's house improv? There's no way the whole exchange about being turned on by gas mileage was scripted. It was a Thursday. That's all I remember. A Thursday? Yeah, from Casey. So we talked about this when we did the recap.
Mm-hmm. The Thursday part was definitely improvised.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I think you guys were just trying to get out of it too and not stop talking about like the fact sheet on Ford that you'd been given to sell the car.
Was that a separate, like, I feel like there was separate sides handed to us. Like, I don't know. Is that
Yeah,
true?
they came and gave us an additional piece of stuff to talk about in the car. That's when we got kind of like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And in that Thursday bit, I remember Max is always pushing you to do, it's like he's pushing you to get in trouble.
Yes.
All the time. You remember we just did our Sexiest Men Alive thing, and every time I said something really messed up that could get me in trouble, Jake would go, Lamorne, stop, and Max would go, no, let him go.
Try and go, and then you put his hand on me, you go, no, let him finish.
Yeah. So yeah, to Casey, to answer your question, a lot of the specifics about gas mileage and stuff like that was scripted, but some of the extra little moments when another person would ask another person a question was improvised, I would say, just so we could kind of mess with the person. Okay. Dear beautiful Hannah Simone and Emmy winner, sexiest man alive, Lamorne Morris.
Definitely didn't say that.
Did you guys write
You
this?
can't read.
Yeah.
No.
Lamorne writes
Zoe
the
Kravitz
fan
wrote these.
questions.
Tyra Banks wrote these. I'm writing to inform you that Google AI is causing quite a commotion amongst the New Girl fandom. Some Googled, why did Coach leave the loft? Or something similar. And Google's AI responded, following the pilot episode of New Girl, Coach left the apartment to move in with his girlfriend, Malia. In his place, to help round out the cast, was his cousin Winston, portrayed by Lamorne Morris, a basketball player coming home to the States after playing in Latvia. So, my question is, were Coach and Winston cousins? I've watched New Girl so many times, and I can't ever recall a mention of Coach and Winston being related. Is Google lying? Was this a plot at one point that later got dropped? Please help us. Thanks, Ashlyn.
They sent a screen grab of that being like written and that is explained as the reason. No, right?
Yeah.
No, never cousins.
Twin cousins. AI is racist, and
That's exactly right.
No, guys, I gotta push back on that one. I do for some reason remember. There is a moment, I forget who mentions it, that we're cousins.
What?
But I think maybe left a script. It was in an original script and it left a script. But I do remember that.
Are you thinking of like Jess and Robbie? They were cousins.
No. I remember this in the very beginning when and again, I'm not sure how Google AI would know that, but I remember that. I don't think we ever established it, but I do remember that being a thing.
wow.
I do.
And I do remember you moving to Santa Monica with your girlfriend,
Yes.
Malia.
That's all true. That's true. Because then he comes back and he's all like broke up over Malia and won't stop talking about it for like 3 episodes. And everyone was like, who?
Yeah. So, so I got to go back. I'm not going to lie to you. I do remember something like that, but I'm going to come back, Casey or Ashlyn, with a different response for you on that one.
I don't think so. I think Google's racist. I'm with Damon on this one.
That's news to me, man. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? While we're here, let's try it. Let's see.
Okay.
What is it? Why did Coach... Hey, AI.
You're gonna go to the source. You can't ask the racist one.
Hey Siri, why did Coach leave the loft? Well, it just brings up a bunch of like Reddit stuff and fan theories, but
I don't think so. I just genuinely don't think so. I think it would be mentioned.
Yeah, it doesn't mention it in this one. It just says that it talks about the real reason, his commitments to happy endings.
Yeah, the real reasons.
Yeah, the real reason.
All right, we'll do an extra deep digging, but I don't think that that's a thing.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, did Prince sing any other songs for you guys besides the one on the episode?
No. I wish.
Sorry, Whitney. No, he just did the one song many times.
No, at one time, so I was standing there by myself. No one saw this. No one was around to see this. Prince comes up to me, and all of a sudden, I just hear in my ear, "Purple rain, purple rain," and I said, "Oh, Prince!" And he proceeded to sing the whole song and performed for me, and was just like, "I'm a huge fan of yours, Lamorne, and I've always wanted to do that for you." And I said,
I remember us doing a bit while they're shooting his song on the show. Yeah, we're in the crowd down, and I remember, I think was it me and you or me and Jake or me and Matt? I don't remember. I just remember us going like, we're like listening to it, but also going, what the fuck is this?
Wait a fucking hit, dude.
But it was so loud, the music was so loud, you couldn't hear us saying.
"Play the hits."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There was actually, in that original script, there was a whole thing about how Nick is the biggest fan of Prince, and him then singing lines like Raspberry Parade and something about dogs going astray, and how he literally actually knew none of the lyrics and has just been like bullshitting the lyrics his whole life, and is the super fan that actually doesn't know any of the words to Prince, and all of that got cut. But that's really funny. But no, he only sang that one song.
Were there other duo names before they came up with Fire and Ice? And how was it dancing on stage with Prince? At I love Gigli, Gigli, Gigli. Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember if there were any other duo names. I don't think there was. I do remember just being Fire and Ice, and so yeah. Warm water. I'm bubbling, baby.
There was a part that was cut where then you went like fire and you went like da-da-da, and then ice, and it was like clink clink or something. Like, we got to work on our sounds. And there was like a whole thing that was written about you guys working on the sounds to make them say fire and ice, but they stuck with warm water.
Warm water. And how was it dancing on stage with Prince, Damon?
Dancing on stage with Prince? I barely remember it.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't
and we
remember
were on the
that
side.
part.
I remember. I sat down and I rewatched it yesterday with my daughter, right? And so she just was like, she enjoys looking at just TV. So something like if I'm putting on New Girl, she'll sit there and watch it, and she'll get really silent, like she's not in the room because I don't let her watch that much TV. And so when I'm rewatching it, she's just like behind me, and she's just silently watching it. And every time I would come on screen, she would go, "Yeah, that's Daddy." She would say that. And then at the end, when I'm explaining to her who Prince is, we all jump on stage. By this time, at the end of the episode, she's invested. And so we all jump on stage, and she keeps going, "I don't see you, Daddy." She goes, "Daddy, why are you not on stage?" And I'm looking around going like, damn, like, was I not? I remember running on the stage. Did they just not cover me? And then they widen out at one, like there's one shot where they widen out, and Damon and myself, we're on the far side of the stage. We're at the very end
There's no
of the stage.
on that side of the stage.
Yes. I was like,
too.
oh,
I'm
there we
half
are,
in,
baby.
half out.
Yeah. I was like, baby, look, that's us in the corner. Look at that. That's Daddy.
I really feel like we were doing a bit. Like, I feel like we were doing a bit all the way up until we got on the stage. And I think that's just like a side effect of the bit is like our location.
Right. And I remember some of those extras not wanting to give up their space. on the
Yes.
stage. They
There
were
were
like,
some
nope.
things about that it was so crazy about the going up on stage where you realize, again, it's like very rare to have things that where you're just kind of like alive in the moment and it is what it is. Like they didn't light it properly. They didn't have that as wide as it was where people were going to be all over the stage. There's no close-ups of anybody dancing. It was just like, this is one shot. He's going to sing. Go. Get up there and dance. And it's going to be kind of this big, we'll do like a one size and a little bit bigger, and then that's what it is. And then half of us you can't even really see us.
Yeah, there wasn't real direction.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they were just like, get up there and dance. I think it was, I think there were so many moving parts and so many people on the set, and they were all night shoots, right? This whole thing was night shoots. And when
Pasadena.
during 2020, I don't even remember, but we did like a reunion. We did like a Zoom reunion or something. And I kept saying, I was like, didn't we shoot this episode at a mortuary or near a mortuary? And I feel like Jake just like destroyed me. He's like, you're crazy. Never happened. And I then was like, no, I'm pretty sure it was near a mortuary. And so yesterday I went and looked it up and I found the address of the house. And the house that we shot Prince's house at was next to a mortuary, which is, I think, why I remember the turnoff sign to go to this house, right in the heart of Altadena. It was on Altadena Drive. And so the house that we shot this Prince episode in no longer exists.
Wait, did it burn down?
It burned?
It's gone. I mean, it's right in the heart of Altadena. I can't imagine it's standing. I can't imagine how it would be.
Text me that address.
I'll give it to you. I'll text it to you right now. I looked it up on the fire map too, and I was like, I think I shouldn't say I know. I guess I think that house is gone, but it was. I remember it was on Altadena Drive, East Altadena Drive. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that's
where that
wild.
house was, but strange. It was such a strange thing. That we drove there for night shoots for a week, and that's the house that Prince approved would be his house for his house party.
Sheesh. Okay. Thanks for bringing the news
Kardashians are
down.
like, good
Hannah.
riddance.
Yeah, no.
You're like, what? Come on, Kardashians.
It's
You're gonna make carpool real awkward for yourself, David.
Yeah.
we never liked that house. Oh gosh. Okay. Did Prince have any requests or ideas for the script of the episode itself, or did he just want to be on the show and would do whatever? From Nostalgia Chick. So we talked about this a little bit in the recap. But he definitely had his ideas. I've heard stories about Prince that when he would go to a hotel, aesthetically, he would bring in his own furniture from his home and redo certain hotel rooms. And he would have it all ready to go before he got to the hotel room.
I feel like I heard that too. I don't know if it was true or not, but I heard that too, where it was like he wanted the vibe to kind of like feel right for him. But I don't know if it's true.
So for this episode, for sure, I heard that he had some thoughts and some opinions and some ideas on set deck. And like you talked about, Zoe's clothes when he was doing the makeover, his stylist, I think from Canada, I want to say, from Toronto maybe, his stylist was either tailor making clothes for Zoe or hand selecting clothes for Zoe.
I think they were like channeling like that Stevie Nicks vibe to make her.
So, yeah. And he only had one request, that he could do a scene alone with Hannah at the end. That was about it.
To play ping pong. That's a thing though, right? That was a lot of people played ping pong with Prince, right? Like, doesn't Jimmy Fallon have like a famous story about that?
I just know the basketball story, the Chappelle one.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Oh, yeah. You never watched the Chappelle show?
Saw the Chappelle show.
I have. I just don't remember the
Hannah, get out of
specific
here.
story.
Hannah, get out,
No,
Hannah.
it's all turned.
Get off. Guys, that's still
No?
stupid. I'm sorry.
Was that mad about what? I don't know that this specific story. What's the
specific story?
Because it. All right.
It's iconic.
You know what? This is your show, Hannah. I'm not gonna.
It's the end of our friendship.
You're entitled to watch or not watch. Lots of television.
You can lead a horse to water.
Oh
but
my
you can't make it
gosh.
think.
Okay. All right.
You should watch it though. It's really fun.
I'm sure I've seen. I just don't remember it right now.
Dave Chappelle pretends to be Prince. He's like dressed up as Prince as Charlie Murphy retells the story of Prince inviting them over to play basketball. And he's really good at basketball.
Yes.
And cooks them. Cooks Charlie Murphy and Eddie Murphy and this whole
And then afterwards, he feeds them pancakes.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder where the pancakes thing came from, because that's like a
That's
real
real.
thing.
Yeah,
No,
Is
no,
it real?
that's
he supposedly
what-
makes really good pancakes. Or made really good pancakes.
They 2003 they talked about it on the Chappelle show. Then we talk about it on Prince mentions it in the episode.
And he let it stay there, so I guess.
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. Okay, folks. Another warm round of applause for Damon for being on the show. Ooh. That is it for us today, folks. So please go to our website, The Mess Around Pod, to check out our latest merch. Hannah's always rocking it, and it looks fantastic. She's changing the world. She's changing the world. All proceeds go directly to Hannah. Follow us on Instagram at The Mess Around Pod. If you got a question, if you got a comment, a concern, you want to leave us a voicemail, you got a thought, you got a conspiracy theory, it doesn't matter. You can email us at themessaroundpod@gmail.com. I love you guys. Damon, you don't say it to me enough, but I love you.
I love you
Hannah,
so
I
much.
love
He
you.
licks your neck, though.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's a
don't
lip graze.
nibble.
It's a lip graze.
Yeah.
It's a lip drag.
Let him know this stuff. That's a spit. You know, one.
Relax. I love you.
What the fuck
love you,
is
Hannah.
happening?
Love you.
Mwah.
Bye. Get off my phone.
That was The Mess Around, an iHeartMedia production.
Our executive producer is Joel Monique. Our senior producer is Abu Zafar. Bei Wang provided engineering and editing services.
Additional production from Daniel Goodman, Wendy Heisler, and Kyle Chevron. Our theme song was written and composed by Ronald Jukebox Jackson.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.